Hey everybody, what is up? This is Will with Willpower Astrology, talking to you about the new moon in Cancer happening today at 1:16 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. So the new moon in Cancer, anytime there's a new moon, the moon and the sun come back to the same place, and the moon appears dark in the sky, and we start a new lunar cycle. So this new lunar cycle is in Cancer. And so the moon itself actually is in its home sign of Cancer during this new moon. So it's all about connecting to your gut feelings, your hunch, your inner kind of teacher and knower, the bubbling, the wellspring of emotion that kind of comes up from within, listening to that inner voice, all that kind of stuff. So the moon in Cancer, the sign of Cancer, and the moon itself is all about the ideas of like mother, intuition, origins, home life. In the fourth house associated with Cancer, it's like the deepest part of your soul. It's like the inner side of yourself that nobody else sees inside that crab shell. You know, it's that juicy inside stuff. So all this stuff, follow your gut. Yeah, Cassandra was an oracle that was cursed to always tell the truth but never to be believed, and this I find is Cancer woman a lot. So you got to really trust your gut, even if it doesn't like make sense, or if you're like, I don't, you got to trust your inner feelings and your inner gut, because this whole moon cycle is about it. So on top of that, this moon cycle and this new moon that's happening today is also a total solar eclipse. So I did a real quick scan in my ephemeris date book astrologer thing, and it looks like this is the first and the only total solar eclipse that happens this year. We're not going to see it where I'm at, but it's a big deal because solar eclipses have had many different kinds of omens behind them. Sometimes they're bad omens, sometimes they're good omens, just depends on who you ask. I tend to think of them as portals for change, and it's kind of how we use the time, how we think about the time to enact the change that really is what becomes effective with the idea of a solar eclipse. So solar eclipses can last 6 to 12 months. So this change that this eclipse is bringing is in effect over the next year or so, but it has long-lasting impacts beyond that. Like this kind of these eclipses kind of like change the game for you. So wherever this eclipse is landing in your chart, it's going to set off this kind of new wellspring of emotion, this Cancer energy that we're going with this new moon. Really, this month kind of kicks off this next whole kind of year of how this eclipse energy is going to carry with us, how like getting in touch with our emotions, getting in touch with our like inner voice, regardless of kind of what anybody else is saying. Yeah. So I always think that solar eclipses are beneficial, but what they do is where they are in your chart is they kind of create this crisis that something needs to happen. Like if you feel this, and what it's going to, in this Cancer sense, it's going to come from within you. You're going to feel this like, I need to change this area of my life. And then like, depending on where this lands in your chart, you'll like feel this kind of different intuition and this different kind of emotional sense about it. So that's coming up. It's happening. We are headed towards it in the next hour or two. So also what's going on that is crazy with this, if you have read my other articles about the North Node being in Cancer this year. So this new moon falls within 7 degrees of the sky or whatever. And so it's close enough to be considered part of the same energy as the North Node. So the North Node is kind of what we don't know. It's our lessons that we have to learn. It's what's outside of our comfort zone. It's kind of what's here to teach us right now, as opposed to our South Node, which is in the opposite sign of Capricorn right now, which is not so much about emotions and mother and nurturing, but it's about public life and kind of like more, Saturn, Capricorn, it's heavier energy. It's not warm mother energy. It's this like, it's your tester, it's your boot camp dad. So what we're going to want to go back to is kind of this sense of like really structured and really like following the rules and, like making sure that everything is going right. But if your gut is telling you that that's not right, then you have to follow your gut. You have to trust that internal instinct, even if you're not a part of the group, So all this kind of thing. So if you read my article about the North Node, talking about the idea that America is a Cancer, we're about to have Independence Day. I won't be celebrating it this year. But America is a Cancer, and it is in crisis. And every time that the North Node is in Cancer, there is a major crisis followed by an economic downturn. So get ready for that. I think this next month of new moon in Cancer, followed by this eclipse, North Node in Cancer, conjunct the North Node, eclipse, new moon, all this stuff happening in the same place. This next month is really going to set up kind of how we're going to progress into the future. So I really think that we need to, as America, we need to be the mom. We need to go out there and spank the ass of all these kids that are getting out of line. And when I say kids, I mean, grown-ass people. And we need to go free those kids and those families out of those border concentration camps. Like, we have to do this, you guys. So there's some energies that are going on right now where it makes you feel kind of helpless. Like we've had Mars in Cancer the last couple of weeks. It feels like every time we try to do something, it's like, ugh. But Mars is about to get into Leo. It's about to get fired up. So you need to get fired up. We need to get action happening. We need to have phone calls happening to our senators and representatives. We need to have things going on to make change happen. We need to start demonstrating. We need to start getting out there. America right now is in a crisis of identity. And right now we will decide who we are going to be. So who are we going to be? I've left links to your senators and representatives. You know what I mean? Like, start following up on it. We got to start making some things happen, because we're not doing the right thing right now, Anyways, I'm going to keep moving. So, yeah, things that are helping us out right now. We're going through some personal changes within the idea of the planet Uranus being in the sign of Taurus. We are having personal changes to our values. What is my value worth? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not following the same rules that I used to, kind of a thing, with that rebellious, kind of innovative Uranus energy in that Taurus house. So we are going through personal changes right now. And I think that it's good to honor that, because it may be tense out there, but it's good to present who you are and who you would like to be versus the old rules, I don't know how to say it any other way than that. And also, antennas up, because what is helping us right now, usually this can be kind of foggy, but Neptune in the sign of Pisces right now. It's good to connect with other people. It's good to share your stories. It's good to celebrate together. It's good to share spirituality. You know what I mean? Not in the sense of like, oh, I'm like so woke and so spiritual, but like sharing a deep sense of, bonding and connection with other people, and hopefully trying to like make the world a better place. This is all like kind of aspected within this. We have this Neptune and Pisces. It's like when we become one, when we all have the antennas up, like the Neptune glyph is the, like the trident. If we have the Neptune antennas up and we're really connecting with each other, that we have this real sense of relief. If we become one right now, when we lean into that, it's all this kind of stuff about dissolving the borders. Literally, let's dissolve some borders. Literally, let's get out there and like uplift mankind. Like, Neptune is vibrating on this high frequency in Pisces, and there's all this other tension. Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn are pulling against this whole new moon, North Node, solar eclipse situation. So this is a time of crisis. Saturn and Pluto are both planets of generational crisis, and right now we are in what will be looked back as the thick of it. You know what I mean? Like, so we need to go out there and make some stuff happen. So don't give up. There's good stuff going on, but we need to do better. Let's all go make it happen. Thank you very much. Peace.